Hi there, me again. Today's video is about a road trip Kristina and I took to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Our first stop was an Airbnb that was actually an old camper trailer that the owner had turned into a guest room. While this might seem more like our final resting place than a first stop, it was actually a really cool spot with lots of unique lit up spaces outside, a fountain, and a fire pit we could use. 8.5 out of 10. Would stay again. On the drive there, we thought we'd literally struck gold when we found this rainbow. Sadly, we got to the end and all we found was a leprechaun with a bowl of Lucky Charms. Whatever, at least we got to our destination in the heart of the Great Smoky Mountains. The cabin we were staying at was really cool and had some great views of the woods and lots of ways to sit and enjoy those views, including a hot tub, Adirondack chairs, and a swinging love seat. So I did what every great landscape photographer in history has done when confronted with nature's beauty. I stayed inside and took a picture of the kitchen. I do really like how this photo turned out. I like how you can see our shoes at the bottom of the frame, as well as the bear decorations, the sign they left us, and Kristina laying down in the background. Our first full day in Gatlinburg started off strong with a moonshine tasting at 9 a.m., which is not the healthiest way to start your day, but that's okay, because we made sure to balance it out with sugary pancakes. You know, like responsible adults. After a breakfast we would regret later, we wandered around this little shopping area that looked like a little European town, and I took some more photos on Fuji 400. I really like this shot because these two people are basically mirroring each other. This scene is a cool moment that captures the motorcyclists and the Gatlinburg Space Needle pretty well. After that walk, we started feeling the effects of the moonshine and pancake combo we had and made an emergency pit stop back at the cabin. I also took some photos of the neighboring cabins. This one turned out great. The greens are so vibrant. Later that evening, we got dinner, and while we waited for our table, I took a couple more photos. Kristina affectionately called these tree monsters. If you're wondering, this is called kudzu, and it grows everywhere down south. This photo gives me abandoned research lab vibes. Dinner that night was great, and after that, we thought we should check out Gatlinburg's knockoff Space Needle. I mean, really though, you couldn't have called it something else. Either way, the views were incredible. I took a couple slow shutter speed shots up here, and I was surprised they weren't too shaky. I mean, we were swaying back and forth on what was essentially an oversized carnival ride. Later that night, we drove to the nearby town of Pigeon Forge, which is a strange yet badass name for a town, and I did some night photography. This photo was a great start. The group in the matching pink jackets makes this feel like a scene straight out of Greece. photo turned out better than I expected. Sure, the sign is cool, but the matching maple leaf on the front of the building just sells it. This was easily the coolest sign of the night. I think this is my favorite photo of it. Something about the empty parking lot, that green and yellow together, and the slightly soft sign make this feel dreamy and a little mysterious. The next morning, we started off on a much healthier note by going on a morning hike in Great Smoky Mountains National Park. The light that morning was incredible. I think this is my favorite photo from the hike. You get to see that gorgeous light through the trees, and having Kristina in the frame gives you a sense of scale. I took this exposure twice, and I think I prefer the darker one.
Kitty. Hi, kitty. Hey, other kitty.
After wandering around the national park, it was time to reload the Canon P with more Fuji 400, aka Ultramax, because we're not stupid. The first thing we came across that morning in Gatlinburg was a really cool mountain cable car. Definitely worth a few pics. Then it was time for another unhealthy breakfast and another photo of the cable car from our table. After breakfast, our plan for the final day in Gatlinburg was to spend it at a really cool park called Anakeesta. Essentially, Anakeesta is a mountaintop adventure park, which is why the only ways up are by ski lift or on the back of a big truck. I took this photo because I thought all the trolleys parked together looked cool. The first thing we did when we got to the park was wander around the Treetop Skywalk, which is basically just the Ewok village on Endor for you Star Wars fans out there. Anakeesta is full of amazing viewpoints, and I think this is the best one. This photo of Kristina is so badass. This might be the best landscape shot of the trip. I just love how the moon is perfectly centered over the mountains, and the houses on the left are a nice little detail. Lunch was great, but that might have been because of the view more than the food. After that, we sat in some rocking chairs and digested our food like classic old Southerners would. thought this landscape through whatever this was looked kind of interesting. Finally, we went through Astrolumina, a light show which basically feels like you're wandering through the woods while aliens are trying to abduct you. Definitely a way different vibe than the rocking chairs. On the way out of the park, we took the treetop skywalk one more time and I took a couple more photos. Even though they were shaky, I still kind of like them. Maybe it just gives you the feeling of what it's like being on those shaky wooden bridges. Overall, this trip was really amazing, and Gatlinburg is definitely a great place to check out. Just magical is all I can say. Now before I sign off, I'll leave you with a few scenes from the drive back. Alright, that's about all I've got for you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye now.